on X, you know, the different words that you always ask Willice, of course, to mention, to talk about. I have a word for myself tonight, and I hope it's going to be, of course, helping me to tackle that tonight. All right. So, of course, the first word, he had that one that he was trying to ask us to test our tongue. I don't know if it's there you have it. So, I don't know if you're at home, if maybe you can actually help, you know, to pronounce that one, sacrosanct. I would say it, but to know Willice can always surprise you. That is regarded as too important to or valuable to be interfered with. That is, of course, one of the words that Willice is going to be tackling for us tonight. Now, Willice, we have you finally. Willice, there you are. So, Willice, I was trying to pronounce that word, sacrosant. I don't know if that's the correct pronunciation, but I will wait upon you, Willice. But you're well now. You can hear me properly.
Can you hear me, Betty?
Absolutely, loud and clear.
Well, Betty, when it comes to pronunciations, in most cases, I always tell you, your English is great and your pronunciations are always spot on. Now, Betty, when we come to certain words, they can be strict, they can be tricky, and then you find yourself maybe missing one sound. And what I always tell people, what is important in pronouncing a word correctly is about getting the sounds right in words. Which are the sound units or sequences in a word? Just like you have said it, it's sacrosanct. Okay. Sacrosanct. And I think I have now to show our viewers the same word so that they know the way you pronounced it is the way to go. So, as they were testing their tongues, let them know that it is sacrosanct. Sacrosanct. That is the way to go, Betty.
Willice, thank you for that. Now, this word that, while I was doing the news earlier today, regulatory. But unajua ukisema haraka, that the R and the L, it has a problem. So I had a problem. And also, do we say regulatory or regulatory? How do we go about that, Willice?
Regulatory, but remember also you can use the weak sound that is the low weak sound regulatory or regulatory. So what is a problem in it is if you cannot pronounce that sound r and the sound that is where sometimes it's tricky, and that is where I always say most Kenyan broadcasters deserve a pat on the back, because when it comes to such tongue twisters, you handle them so well, Betty.
Thank you very much,
Regulatory
Willice.
Or regulatory, you can also say regulatory.
All right, thank you, Willice, for that. Okay, let's now move very quickly to our first word. I'll spell it out, B-A-R-B-E-C-U-E. I know it as barbecue. You'll surprise me if you tell me it's any other one, any other word.
Betty, barbe, no. Barbie, yes.
No
you say
way.
Barbecue. B. That E after B takes the sound E. Barbecue.
What?
Barbecue. That is where the surprise may be for many people, because we lack, sometimes we lack proper guidance in good time. But you say barbecue. Barbecue, not be.
Oh my God, okay. I thought I knew. I thought I knew. Kumbe nimeanguka. So it's barbecue, as you've heard. I know that is actually a surprise, really.
Barbecue.
Barbecue.
Yes.
So to suggest over the weekend, hey, tonight barbecue. Barbecue. All right, Willice, moving to this other one, D-E-I-T-Y. Do you say deity? Do we say deity? How do we go about that one?
Oh, we have two acceptable or alternative pronunciations for that word. You can say deity, deity. You can also say deity. Deity, deity. So certain words in the English language have two or even more acceptable pronunciations, Betty.
Okay, that actually is a surprise. I think I'll be using the deity so I can shock people there as we talk, in the streets. Thanks, Willice, for that. Moving on to this other one, Willice, do we say feasibility? Do we say feasibility, like a feasibility study? How do we pronounce that word?
The second way you said it. Now, that S takes what we call the voiced sound. Betty, when I technically talk about a voiced sound, it's not a pronounced sound. It's a sound that as you produce it, if you happen to hold this part of your neck, that is the front part of your neck, you'll feel some vibration of the vocal cords.
Yes.
Those are sounds like Z, 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 Z. You also have the sound G, G. As you pronounce it, you'll feel some vibration if you hold this part. So, in this word, you have the sound Z, which is a voiced sound. You don't say S. Feasibility, no. You say feasibility, the way you said it for the second time.
All right, Willice, thank you for that. You can take it away for, for our viewers who contacted you on X.
Betty, now let me go to those who sent words in. Brian Odeo, in fact, he sent in the words today, that is this evening. Odeo of Eldoret, you say dough, not duff. If you say duff, then you might end up saying duff nut for donut. So your word is dough, and that is why we talk of donut, not duff and not duff nut. I hope you get it clearly, and other viewers. Now, the second word, you say loci. Loci. It's a technical word commonly used in law or specialty or special use. Then we have seize. To seize, that is to grab something. So Brian, I hope you've got it right. Jemima Adongo. Now, Betty, in the first place, we have Jemima. Jemima. The way we see it, many people end up saying Jemima. Jemima, no. You say Jemima. Adongo of Migori, you say enjoy, not N. Enjoy, to enjoy something, just like many people always enjoy watching This Friday with Betty. And now, the second word, we have enough. It's enough. You don't say enough. Mbai Stephen Mbai of Nairobi, stoically or stoically. Then your second word, you talk of corps, not corpse. Diplomatic corps, not diplomatic corpse. Because if you say diplomatic corpse, you might be talking about a dead body. That is diplomatic, which would be vague. So you say diplomatic corps, not corpse. Then your last word, bourgeois, tricky from French. Now, Nicole and Blessing, the two wonderful sisters who also love this program so much, as per what they wrote to me. Now, you say permission. Permission. Don't say jeune. Jeune, no. Shin or shon. Permission. Now, Sam, Betty, and Braylon Omwenga. The first word, Lord. Lord, not loud. Many people innocently say loud from the spelling, but please, you say Lord. To Lord, that is to praise something. And we have applaud, not applaud. Then your last word, you say clause. Clause, not clouds. We have Karen Ngala of Nairobi. You say, Betty, this is a tricky one, but a very common word. I think this word really disturbs many people. When we go to school, we are taught or we are told about geometry. Geometry in English? No. That word is pronounced geometry. You say geometry, not geometry the way we commonly hear around us. Now we have Tilen Simiu of Bungoma. Autopsy. Autopsy, not autopsy. Audio. Audio, not audio. Then flower. Maize flower, not maize flour. Then Daisy Njoki of Nyeri, you say pulpit. Lastly, at Ras Fellow of Mombasa, you say Isaiah, not Isaiah, and you say Josiah, not Josiah. Then we have our surprise word for tonight. This word, when you strongly believe in a particular religion, you say that person or you are a devout Christian, not devout Christian. Devout. You can see the phonetic transcription. Then if you have certain words that really disturb you or disturb your friends, just ensure that you watch TV 47 on Friday night. That segment is the one which we are almost finishing. It is Which is Which within This Friday with Betty. Now, you can also send me your word which is disturbing you even tomorrow or even right now. Then I'll keep it. Next Friday, watch TV 47. The word that you'll send will come to this. That is on X. At Willice Ochieng 1. You can also use at TV 47 News. You can also use at Betty M. Kielo. Otherwise, I take you back to Betty for more. But remember, learning never ends. But none of us as human beings can be perfect.
Well, thank you very much, Willice, for the lesson tonight. That was fantastic. And of course, a lot of surprises there. I hope at least if you're back at home, you got something. So you know what? That has been Which is Which. Right now, we want to turn our focus on our guest tonight, the one and only, the rap president. When I started the show today, I said, like, years back, you know, like, which